Texas Rustlers, Lindsey Francis.
The roller derby queen contest was supposed to showcase all that is pure and beautiful in the WSL.
Thank you so much.
But no one told these ladies about that. After being savagely beaten for accepting a crown that may or may not be hers, Rustler Lindsey Francis faces one of her assailants, Quake bod squatter Stacy Blitch.
Lindsey fixed the roller derby queen pageant, and I'm going to make her pay.
Malibu Stacy may be sexy, but she's about as tame as a starving tiger. Lindsey Francis sports a sharp tongue.
Stacy Blitch makes me sick. She's got the IQ of a 10-year-old and the looks of a dog.
She lives for conflict. It's a deadly mix. It's the California Quakes and the Texas Rustlers. Next on Roller Jam.
Studios here in Orlando. This is a Roller Jam. This is the World Skating League. I'm Rory Marcus, and this is Lee Hawk Rearman. And we're here tonight for the California Quakes and the Texas Rustlers, a Roller Jam which should be of a tremendous proportion tonight. The Quakes and Rustlers, the Rustlers, Lindsey Francis has had quite a time of it lately. Officially or unofficially, however you want to look at it, she is at this moment the roller derby queen. She was crowned in Las Vegas, but controversy follows Lindsey Francis.
Well, absolutely. In Las Vegas, it seemed like either she was playing a great game or getting most of her clothes ripped off. I can't decide which I prefer more, but she's got her hands full with the bod squad, and Lord knows Stacy Blitch has got something for her, because don't forget, she's still in this roller derby queen controversy. But then for the men, Sean Atkinson, we're back here in Orlando. We left Vegas. He's got a little bit of a bad taste in his mouth. He really wants to prove something against the G-Force.
He might have left Las Vegas, but he's a kid on a losing streak. Talking about Sean Atkinson on the track and off.
And he doesn't need an excuse to play, Roy. I don't care if he's on a losing streak. If he was on a win streak, he'd still come to play.
You know that for sure. And here come the Texas Rustler women. And Lindsey Francis leads the Rustler women. She's looking nice today. There she is.
And she's got the golden hair going. She's got the big smile for the crowd. She's a good-looking woman, huh, Rory?
I'd say so. Here come the Texas Rustler men. Not quite as appealing visually, but they're tough on the track. Don't you think the G-Force has played well lately?
The G-Force led by Brian Gamble. He should be coming out here in a moment. He packs a punch. Of course, he comes over from that New York Enforcer 5-borough lineup. He's added a whole new element to this Rustler lineup, Roy.
He's a Texas Rustler with a New York accent and a New York attitude. And the Rustlers ready to do battle against the California Quakes as the lights go down and the flames come up. Here comes Amy Craig, and here come the Quakes.
Oh, and thank goodness, here come the bod squad, Rory. They still have the cloud blue outfits that they donned in Vegas. Stacy Blitz, the leader of the bod squad. We know the showgirls put theirs away, but the bod squad have brought their outfits to Florida.
You seem to be very much in favor of those outfits, huh? Here come the Quakes men now. The California Quakes men, of course, led always by their leader, Sean Atkinson. And Atkinson is here. He is ready to go. And the California Quakes are ready to go against the Texas Rustlers. Now we've talked about Stacy Blitch, and we've talked about Lindsey Francis. Now Danny Wolf gets the opportunity to talk to both of them. Broadway?
Okay, I'm here with Stacy Blitch, and here's Lindsey Francis. They were two finalists in the Miss Roller Derby Queen contest. We still don't really know who even won the contest.
Everybody knows that I won. I won through dedication, commitment, and excellence. I won Roller Derby Queen.
Well, Lindsey, I bet you're a lot.
This is a done deal, folks. Excuse me, I smell a glitch with this whole glitch outcome. No, I'm not done, sweetie. I won, excuse me.
I think I won through talent on my skates, not through talent on my back.
Why don't we see some of that up?
Let's take this up.
Hawk, Roy, back to you.
Roller Rules, brought to you by Dial 1-800-AT&T for collect calls.
There are 4 6-minute periods. The women's skate periods 1 and 3. The men's skate periods 2 and 4. There are 5 skaters per team, 2 jammers and 3 blockers. The blockers wear white helmets. The jammers have the black helmet with the stripe. Points are scored when jammers lap opposing team members. Here's an example of what I was just talking about. The jammer for the green team breaks out from the pack and circles the track. For each member of the red team that he or she passes, 1 point is earned.
Danny Wolf has them separated for the time being, but they're at the starting line, Rory. Stacy Blitch, the smile on her face there, and the Golden Girl blonde hair that Stacy Blitch, I can assure you, will go right after.
Lindsey Francis now getting ready to come onto the track, getting her elbow pad set, and we're about ready to go, and she takes a quick shot from Stacy Blitch before the whistle even sounds. You heard referee Sean Corbin say knock it off, but not before the quick shot from Stacy Blitch, and now she's out there leading this first jam, and Lindsey Francis chases. So the two of them get right to business, and they go right at one another. The helmet comes off of Stacy Blitch. She throws it into the infield.
And we talked about these two, and they talked to each other before the whistle even blew for the first jam, Rory. And they've wasted no time in totally making us look like experts because they are getting right out after it early.
Francis now trying to catch up with Blitch, who gives her a quick right arm into the midsection. Stacy Blitch threw her jammer's helmet off, in case you're wondering why those golden locks are flowing on this jam. Now she comes, up to the back of the pack and gets knocked down hard. And that's Tink Miller in there doing the big damage. She's back from her injury, and she is making her presence felt on this first jam. Lindsey Francis goes through, gets the points, calls it off, and then takes a seat. Tink Miller and Stacy Blitch, and they are not happy with one another.
Well, and Tink Miller, you mentioned back off that injury, her and Lindsey Francis really provide a 1-2 punch. And Stacy Blitch, here's why she's not happy. You see Tink Miller in the jam muscling away to one of the Stacy Blitch of the Bod Squad, and Lindsey Francis, the Golden Girl, scored points unimpeded. I wouldn't be happy either.
So it's 4-0 now. The Texas Rustlers get the first points of the game, and let's see if the Bod Squad can respond. And Lindsey Francis looks over at Stacy Blitch and says, this isn't the Jay Leno show. This is a game. You better be ready, baby. Jamie Conomack gets out now as part of the Bod Squad, and Amy Craig is out there as well for the California Quakes as they look to get on the scoreboard for the first time in this game. Francis in between them. And now she's in between them on the track. Down she goes. Lindsey Francis has not been shy about grabbing that jammer's helmet here early in the game, but now Conomack and Craig have a chance to score points. Stacy Blitch gives them both a whip, and they both pick up a point. Now getting to the pack, Jamie Conomack calls the jam off. Not sure why she called it off. They still had some time left, but they did pick up 2 points. So it's 4-2 in favor of the Rustlers. We'll be right back.
They're taking no prisoners on this week's Roller Jam. It's the X-Men taking on the G-Force, and somebody's going down.
Nobody compares to a hot dice team.
The Hot Dice, the Rustlers, Roller Jam. Next Friday at 7, 6 Central on TNN.
Lindsey Francis on the bench at the moment now, shaking her head, talking. Not happy, although her team is leading the game at the moment 4-2 here in the first period of play. And getting out there for the Texas Rustler now is Laura Heiser. Laura Heiser, number 43 in that cream-colored Rustlers jersey, and she's out there against Jennifer Matthews of the California Quakes, and Matthews goes down face first.
Well, and what got Laura Heiser out here, Rory, was a big whip from Tink Miller. We saw her on the last jam take out Stacy Blitz. Now we see her give a big whip to Laura Heiser. She is back with a vengeance, saying, hey, what injury? I'm here, and I'm here to stay. And look at this by Laura Heiser.
She couldn't get over him, though. She didn't score any points. Now she gets up, scores, I think, 1 or 2, and quickly calls it off. Nope, Sean Corbin says she didn't get him. No scoring. Stacy Blitz pushing and shoving down there with Tink Miller. Let's take a look as she didn't quite get over the top here. Laura Heiser trying to go over the top, but didn't make it.
Well, it was a valiant effort, but look who's down there at the bottom. Tink Miller just totally roughing up Stacy Blitz of the Bod Squad, who has no friends, it seems like, right now, except maybe Sean Atkinson, who comes over with perhaps a word of encouragement.
Well, the men, even though they're over there planning their own strategy, they love to watch the women skate and vice versa. And now getting past Tink Miller and getting out on the jam is Jennifer Matthews for the California Quakes. And she's well out ahead on this jam at the moment, although Lindsey Francis is catching from behind, as is Amy Becker. But now It's all Jennifer Matthews. Becker trying to catch her from behind. As knocked down there was Renee Blevins. Jennifer Matthews comes up to Tink Miller and goes right around her. Nice little move on the lower side of the track. She got by on the inside to pick up one. Now she has to go by again, which she does. She does not get that same point again. But there's another one. And there's a spin move by Jennifer Matthews. As the Quake women doing a good job on this jam, bottling up that pack. Matthews scoring some points. Just 2 seconds left in the jam, and that's it. Jennifer Matthews picks up 2 points and ties the game at 4.
Well, Lindsey Francis and Tink Miller have really been ganging up on Stacy Blitch in this first period here, Rory. And Stacy Blitch never wanted to back down from a fight. They seem to have chosen the strategy, hey, we're just going to beat on you early and maybe bait you into a shoving match and try to tire you out, because we all know that Stacy Blitch is one that really lets spite sometimes take over her performance.
Well, you know, Lindsey Francis was announced as the queen of the roller derby. Stacy Blitch thought she won it. Denise Loden thought she won it. It's been a comedy of errors, and Kenneth Logue, the general manager of the league, might be a person who could shed some light on it. Hopefully he'll do that a little bit later tonight.
Well, once again, I still am claiming that you, Rory Marcus, are the interim roller derby queen.
I'm not eligible, Hawk, as much as you might try to campaign for me. Jamie Conamack's out there, and she says, come on, get a little bit of this. Jamie Conamack, a member of the bod squad, in case you couldn't tell by that uniform. The Quakes and the Rustlers tied up here 4-4. Now Conamack gets a pop from Tink Miller, which took her temporarily out of the play, but she regains her composure. With only 10 seconds left in the jam, she's going to try and get by Miller with a little help from Matthews. Oh, man, and from Stacy Blitch as well. Blitch,
wow. Well, and if Stacy Blitch was being ganged up on by the likes of Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis, she has enough left to rough up Tink Miller, of course, celebrate to the crowd, which perhaps is her favorite move. And Tink Miller still maybe perhaps roughed up from that injury. You see the response to her. But Stacy Blitch laying in wait for unsuspecting Tink Miller, trying to set up a move of her own. Wow.
Jamie Conamack goes by. You see her right there picking up the 1 point.
And then Stacy Blitch decides a point is not enough. We need a little extra shove and a shot to the midsection as an emphasis after that 1 point. Well, the men get set to take to the track. Sean Atkinson and the California Quakes going up against Brian Gamble and the Rustler men. The score right now, the Quakes 5, the Rustlers 4. Stay right with us. Quakes 5, Rustlers 4. Sean Atkinson standing by with Broadway Danny Wolf.
All right, thanks, Rory. Sean Attack Atkinson. No secret, the bod squad were going after Lindsey Francis. Also no secret, I think retaliation, the G-Force is going to be going after the Attack.
Well, I tell you what, the track is my ocean. I'm a great white shark. G-Force, I'm ready to take a bite out of your ass. Whoa!
I like it when somebody is succinct and to the point.
Well, speaking of going to the point, he goes right after David Gleddy does Sean Attack Atkinson. We saw Stacy Blitch and Lindsey Francis first period. More of the same as Sean Corbin has his hands full. Did he say? Looks like Sean Atkinson's calling himself a great white shark, and he's sniffing for blood, and the blood of Brian Gamble will be at the tip of his nose, the leader of the G-Force.
5-4, the Quakes have the lead in the game. And here we go into the second period. And Atkinson gets a little bit of a slow start off the line, but that's all right. He's not wearing a Jammers helmet. However, Eric Slopey is, and Slopey gets out there for the Quakes. And for a moment had the lead in the jam. Marcus Abrera trying to stay right with Slopey. And not only does he stay with him, he takes him out of the play. So Marcus Abrera, who is at home here in Florida, will reach the back of the pack, trying to give the Rustlers some points here as the first men's period starts, and he finds Atkinson back there to block.
Well, a little surprising that none of the G-Force are out as jammers. Marcus Abrera, somebody we don't hear from very often, is out on a jam instead of Gallagher, which is very surprising out of the chute, Rory.
Abrera is being tied up by Atkinson as Slopey gets up there. Now he meets Gleddy. Atkinson takes Abrera out, and I mean out of the play.
Well, he calls it the back attack.
Oh, not this. Oh, no. Look out. Look out. Hang on there, Marcus. You're in trouble now.
South of the border goes Cabrera.
Believe it or not, Atkinson's getting a penalty for that. If you did that on the street, you'd get 10 years.
And then would come the civil case. But he calls it the back attack. Sean Atkinson, the man, the muscle, the myth. He calls himself a shark. The World Skating League's an ocean. Well, Marcus Cabrera, I think, just was drowned. And if he wasn't done drowning the young man, he says, hey, I'll take your manhood, my friend.
That truly is insult to injury, Hawk. And Atkinson goes to one of his favorite rest areas,
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
the penalty box. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. That is the textbook definition. Truly, that is unsportsmanlike. 5-4, the Quakes still lead. There was no scoring in that jam. And here we go again. As getting out there for the Texas Rustlers is Chris Cheadle, number 47. And Brian Krebs goes out after him for the Quakes. Cheadle and Krebs are out in front, and now for the Rustlers, Brian Gallagher catches up, and they have a 2-on-1 advantage.
Well, and let's see if the Rustlers can take advantage of the power play as they send Brian Gallagher, one of the G-Force, out again. They're up a man on a power play. Let's see if they can take advantage, Rory.
Krebs went down face first, and now the Rustlers have two jammers out there ready to score some points as they trail this game by 1. And Rusty Montgomery takes up the blocking duties in the back of the pack. Montgomery's going to get some help back there from Chad Vaughn. And, oh, the G-Force takes out Vaughn and Montgomery as the Rustlers go by to score the points. Still plenty of time left in the jam. The whistle blows from Sean Corbin. And he gave them 4. They each got 2. Montgomery shakes his head. The Rustlers picked up 4 points, and the G-Force made their presence felt.
Well, we just mentioned that they were on a power jam where the Rustlers, with Sean Atkinson's in the penalty box, they take full advantage. You see Brian Gamble, the G-Force blocker, paving the way, and you see Brian Gallagher, the G-Force jammer, along with a little bit of a newcomer. Chris Cheadle scores some points. Good job, Rustlers, to take advantage, Rory.
8-5, the Rustlers have the lead, and they whip number 42 out there. And the California Quakes get 2 of their jammers out. For the Quakes, that's Tony Santiago and Tom Smith, and they're out there by themselves. That was Jason Beckstein who got knocked down for the Rustlers. And now the Quakes down in this game by 3. They come up to Glennie and to Gamble. And what are they going to do? Score some points? Atkinson is out of the penalty box, and all of a sudden he takes a couple of men out. And he wants more, doesn't he? He takes the helmet off, skates away.
Well, he was squaring up with Brian Gamble, the leader at G-Force. We all know the story of Brian Gamble. Came over from the Enforcers, part of that 5-borough lineup, and Sean Atkinson. He's intense, as we talked about, when he gets up in the morning, and Brian Gallagher is somebody who can bring that intensity out of him. But here you see some of the power of Sean Atkinson. A little bit of the Superman. Lays out horizontal, takes out half the World Skating League stadium here. Sean Atkinson, he calls himself a great white shark, but the man can play.
He takes out 2 with 1 move, and they get 2. So it's 8-7 now. The Rustlers still with a 1-point advantage. And here we go as the Rustlers once again send Brian Gallagher out of the jam, and chasing him for the California Quakes is Tony Santiago. The Quakes in the blue and gold, the Rustlers in the cream-colored jerseys. And Santiago missed him. Down he goes flat on his belly. Boy, he made that look easy, talking about Brian Gallagher. He's from Boston, Massachusetts, and he's out there now approaching Sean Atkinson in the back of the pack. Oh, from off the track comes Rusty Montgomery, reached out and tripped him like a football player on the sidelines. That was a tackle. No points, and apparently no penalty to Gallagher.
Well, I think Sean Corbin did not see it. As you see Brian Gallagher, the physical result of what happened, but the point result, you see Rusty Montgomery in the middle of your screen reach in through between 2 uprights and trip Brian Gallagher.
That's a sneaky move, isn't it? Wow. Rusty Montgomery pulled it off, though, and got away with it. 8-7, the Rustlers still lead. Here we go to the final jam of the first half. With the men on the track, the women will be out for the third period, of course. And Lindsey Francis will be out there once again for the Rustlers. But right now, for the Quakes, that's little Eric Slopey. And Slopey gets out by himself.
Well, let's see if he does his signature dance here in the backstretch. The white pony looked like he was gearing up to do it, but he didn't. Maybe he's maturing in his old age.
He didn't do it because he sees the bench being carried onto the track by Sean Atkinson, and it's going to take out the entire Rustler squad. And Slopey leaps over the pack to get them all. And now Atkinson's embroiled in a fight with the G-Force, and all over him is David Glenny, and they're down on the track in the infield.
Well, he wasn't done. I guess taking the bench out of the infield and going after G-Force wasn't enough. He wanted more of Glenny, Gamble, and Gallagher, and he'll get it.
Well, there's no place to sit over in the Rustler side, so he takes a seat in the infield and gets in another fight. Eric Slopey, you talked about the white pony. It looked like he was going to just start it, and he glanced over on the corner of his eye. He could see the bench coming up.
No score. One jam penalty on Atkinson. Interference.
There is interference, and then there's interference. And the bench on the track is definitely a penalty.
I'll say.
All right, it's halftime. 8-7 Rustlers. We'll find out more about Kenneth Logue from Julie Lynch and Broadway Danny Wolf coming up.
They're taking no prisoners on this week's Roller Jam. It's the X-Men taking on the G-Force, and somebody's going down.
Nobody compares to a hot dice team.
The Hot Dice, the Rustlers, Roller Jam. That's Friday at 7, 6 Central on TNN.
Even though the Quakes look happy, the Rustlers have an 8-7 lead.
And you saw Jamie Conneback celebrating a little bit. You're absolutely right, Roy. I don't think she's taking a look at the scoreboard. And speaking of scoreboards, Stacy Bliss just about sent Tink Miller into the scoreboard, and the violence continues as Sean Atkinson and Stacy Bliss must work out together on their off days.
I know you're against violence in this league, Hawk, and I know that General Manager Kenneth Logue always has been, but things aren't going his way lately. Our own Julie Lynch caught up with Logue very recently.
Kenneth Logue's a man of pride and integrity. It's no wonder he's ashamed after his roller derby queen fiasco. If I were he, I'd lay low a long time.
General Manager Kenneth Logue III has fallen from grace in the eyes of Commissioner Jerry Seltzer. And Union Rep Mark D'Amato is reaping the rewards.
Listen, you little freak. I said to have that box of cigars here by noon. No excuses.
Including taking over Logue's plush office. Logue's humiliation is at an all-time low. We found him cleaning a weight room at a rundown training center, stripped of his staff and budget, yet still working.
I'm perfectly capable of running the training center by myself. The Logues were all raised to be self-reliant. Mother always said, if you want a job done right, do it yourself.
But he wasn't that comfortable.
Could you shut the camera off here, please? Thank you. World Skating League, can I help you? Yes, he is. One moment. This is Kenneth Logue. Can I help you?
D'Amato's whims have become his chores.
I think Mr. D'Amato likes Jack Daniels. By the case, what the f*** do I care?
How does the Wall Street Wizard feel about being D'Amato's whipping boy?
I'm going to go along with his games because I'm going to be there when his little empire crumbles. It's really just a matter of time. The general manager, Kenneth Logue, he's trackside with our Broadway Danny Wolf. Danny?
All right, Kenneth Logue III, I had a feeling you would resurface tonight.
Well, the reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated, Danny, as always. I've been taking care of business, to borrow a phrase from the vernacular.
Well, first, before we get to the roller derby queen fiasco, I gotta say, you've been against the sex and violence of the World Skating League. What are your comments on the last few minutes of the period?
It's repugnant. It is a perfect example of everything that I find repellent. Excuse me.
Tim Washington coming over here. Hold on, Tim. I'm doing an interview with Kenneth Logue. Hold on 1 second. This is not your interview time. Kenneth Logue, I gotta ask you, really, how can you show your face after the roller derby queen fiasco? How can you?
Fiasco for whom, Danny? Certainly not for me. Perhaps for those responsible for that fiasco. I have irrefutable proof that that vote was manipulated by forces unfriendly to me and the fans of Roller Jam.
Well, let's talk then really quickly before we get to that about some of your responsibilities. Your power has been stripped away by Commissioner Seltzer. He has diminished your power and given it to Mark D'Amato, Kenneth.
Well, when you rise to the level of sports that I have, you have to expect that sometimes the wind is not going to blow in your direction. I've been using my time wisely to consolidate my support.
And you said something about, you knew something about the contest and about the voting. Let us in on it. What are you holding back, Kenneth?
The voter fraud was so widespread and so blatant, it would embarrass a Kennedy, Daniel. I have an eyewitness.
That's enough. That's enough right there, okay? That is enough. You are wanted in the back right now by Mark D'Amato. So let's go now.
Uh-oh.
I wonder what D'Amato wants, Hawk.
Come on.
Tim Washington escorting him out of here.
Help? You need help? Go. Go.
That's nice of him to offer help, though, going over the rail. And there goes Kenneth Logue into the back to see D'Amato. We're waiting to see Stacy Blitch and the California Quake women going up against Lindsey Francis and the Texas Rustler women. Here's a good look at Lindsey. Stay with us. We're coming right back with more Roller Jam. Broadway Danny Wolf continues to look into this roller derby queen fiasco.
All right, Kenneth Logue made allegations, Sean, that you know who fixed this election.
No, Danny, I'm not going to talk about that crap. I got a girls' field out here that's ready to win the game for us, and with the guys, I got to get game ready, brother. Hey, I do not know who won that thing and all that crap, man.
Well, Sean Atkinson says, I don't know anything about it. I've got a game to play. Eventually, we'll find out somebody that does know something about it and will know something about it finally. I have a feeling they may have to sell it away other than the ballot box. But we're ready to go into the third period. The women are out there. It's 8-7. The Texas Rustlers have a 1-point lead, and here we go. And Stacy Blitch grabs the Jammer's helmet and says, let me at him. Tink Miller goes out for the Rustlers as we're ready to go. One man short are the Quake. Oh, man. Stacy Blitch went out, and she went through that upright. Sean Corbin goes to take a look at her. She hit her knees as she went out, but she gets up, and she's back on the track, and she tried to trip up Tink Miller and missed her. I wouldn't blame Stacy if she's a little sore after that one, and she is. Back to block now. Conomac misses Tink Miller. She comes up to Amy Craig and gets by her. Miller's having quite a game and is off to a great start in this period. Now, Jennifer Matthews trying to stop her. And the Bod Squad not having much luck here in the opening minutes of the second half, and Miller calls the jam off.
And quite a game for Tink Miller so far. You even saw a little fancy two-step during part of that jam. I think they call it getting jiggy with it or something, but Tink Miller, usually a blocker, usually doesn't say a whole bunch, and unfortunately we might have been a little injured right here, sent Stacy Blitch through the upright, or right into the upright under the railing, and you see the reaction of a fan over there. Ouch.
Right, he was right there. He had a good view of it.
And she comes right back, and she's already squawking to the crowd again, Rory. Good job, Stacy Blitz, the infamous leader of the Bod Squad.
But she's holding on to that left thigh a little bit. I think she's a little sore. That's where she banged into that rail. 13-7. The Rustlers now have the lead. As we start the jam, the Jammers in the black helmets trying to get out from the back of the pack.
And I was just going to say, where is Lindsey Francis? They sent Tink Miller out in an unaccustomed Jammer helmet in the first jam, and here she comes, the Golden Girl. She claims she's the Derby Queen. Well, right now she's trying to claim some points.
She has no reason to think she's not the Derby Queen. The general manager of the league announced her as the winner of the Derby Queen. So right now, I think she is, at least pending further investigation.
No. You are the Derby Queen, Rory.
Thank you, Hawk. Jennifer Matthews gets back there to block against Lindsey Francis as Jamie Conomac tries to catch from behind. And Francis, with 18 seconds left on the jam, is held up by Matthews. Here comes Stacy Blitch, and up in the air goes Lindsey Francis. And a little kick to the midsection.
Well, she calls it the backbreaker. She learned it probably from Sean Atkinson, although she won't admit it. Now, or she calls it the slip disc. Sean Atkinson calls his the backbreaker. Stacy Blitz moments ago we saw flying into an upright. She comes up limping. The crowd over by her looks at her like she broke in two. Well, she comes right back. lowers the shoulder, lowers the helmet. Lindsey Francis, you might be Derby Queen, but right now you got a slip disc. Hello, Golden Girl. Goodbye.
That's no way to treat a Golden Girl. She's up, though, and she's ready to go, and she says, give me the Jammer's helmet. I want it, and she's got it. As Stacy Blitch goes over to the penalty box, where her and Sean Atkinson are chatting. They say, this is our favorite spot to sit together, right here in the penalty box. Sean Corbin yelling at Lindsey Francis and trying to get the pack together for the next jam. 13-7, the Rustlers have the lead, and they have a chance now with an advantage to try and get some more. But Lindsey Francis is slowed up as she tries to get out of there. And Heather Sunderman beats her to the punch. Heather Sunderman leads the jam, and Lindsey Francis catches from behind, gets to Sunderman, and puts her down on her back. That leaves Francis all by herself, trying to add to the 6-point advantage of the Texas Rustlers.
And that slip disc she just received from Stacy Blitch seems to just have made her mad, Rory. She came out with fire in her eyes.
It slipped back into place just as quickly. Now Tink Miller whispers something to Lindsey Francis, and they're going to double team the Quakes that are in the pack. Here they come. A double whip. Francis gets around. Looked like she called it off. She did. When they put their hands on their hips, they're calling off the jam. There's Tink Miller. Boy, she can look awfully mean out there, can't she? Stacy Blitch comes by and gives a little tug on the hair of Lindsey Francis.
Well, they only got 1 point because Lindsey Francis called off the jam too quick, but what a 1-2 punch of Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis. Tink Miller is big and fast, and then Lindsey Francis is just pure speed and aggression. These guys, if they stay healthy, are really what is going to be a formidable foe here in the World Skating League for the Texas Rustlers, something they didn't have last year, Rory.
And the Quakes trail it now by a touchdown. It's 14-7. Amy Craig's out there for the Quakes, trying to help their cause, and she does. And she knocks down Amy Becker. One Amy gets the better of the other one, and now Amy Craig motors up to the back of the pack with that smooth skating style of hers. She looked back and said something to Stacy Blitch, who's back there in the back of the pack, to give her an assist. It's a light whip from Stacy Blitch. Under, over, and past them goes Amy Craig. And they high-five at the end of the play. Cindy Zimmerman. Craig got the points. Let's see what they gave her. They gave her 3 Quakes points. The leg whip worked.
Well, it's Stacy Blitch, we saw her a little while ago taking the slip disc to Lindsey Francis, which was a defensive move. Now we see a little offensive move with the leg whip to Amy Craig. We all know the story how fast she is. What a great job by the California Quake women, and especially Stacy Blitch.
1 jam left here in the women's period. It's 14-10. The Quakes get Jennifer Matthews out there. And for the Rustlers, that's number 43, Laura Heiser. They go out together on this final jam, and down goes the Quakes jammer, Jennifer Matthews. That leaves Heiser, Lindsey Francis, and Stacy Blitch bugging each other in the back of the pack. Heiser gets knocked down, and Blitch and Francis tangle with one another. There's something up for Tink Miller, and Miller puts Blitch back first into the rail. And there's another little shot to the back. The lower back, too. That hurts. And Francis is there to taunt, but Stacy Blitch gets right back up and takes a shot at Miller, and they're going to go at it. Now the hair pulling starts. Now the referees get in there. Tink Miller and Stacy Blitch one-on-one.
Well, they singled out Stacy Blitch, did Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis.
Well, they sure did. It was a tough period and a tough game for Stacy Blitch so far.
And it's been a difficult game for the Quakes, all in all, because they're down 16-10 right now. Sean Atkinson and Rusty Montgomery will try to do something about that, but they'll have to do it against the G-force of the Texas Rustlers. 16-10 Rustlers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The Rustlers are doing well. They're up 16-10. Lindsey Francis and Tink Miller with Broadway Danny Wolf.
That's right, Rory. I'm here with Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis. And first, Lindsey, the bod squad's been going after you all game. You guys are the 1-2 punch of the Rustlers, but how is it out there, especially with Stacy?
Oh, give me a break. These 3 are like a bunch of Spice Girl wannabe rejects out here. Takes 3 of them to attempt 1 of us to try and take us out.
And let me ask you, Tink Miller, you're fresh off your injury, your back. How's the ankle? How is it out there?
It was like I wasn't down. It didn't hurt.
It was just a freak accident, that's all I gotta say. They can't put me down.
Well, you guys are definitely establishing yourselves, Lindsay and yourself, I'm talking about as the 1-2 punch of the Rustlers. You guys look pretty good tonight.
That's it. It's all we need. 1-2, baby. It's right here.
Well, the Bod Squad reacting as you would expect them to, but Tink Miller and Lindsey Francis had a good third period for the Rustler women. All right, 16-10, the Quakes are down. The bench is back in place where they can sit on it if they want to. And Marcus Abrera gets out there for the Rustlers against the California Quakes, Tom Smith. First time we've seen Smith jam tonight. But Abrera started the game on a jam, and now he's back out there again. Oh, man! Montgomery and Atkinson just causing bodies to fly across the track. And there's a little smack on the head for Marcus Abrera. 2 Quake points, 1 Rustler point, the result of all of that.
Well, the G-Force might have got caught sleeping there because Sean Atkinson, when Marcus Abrera as a jammer came around, Sean Atkinson lowered his shoulder, and I tell you what, his shoulder into the midsection of Marcus Abrera was just right here, kapow! My goodness, you see the whole head. That young man's got whiplash, and don't forget Marcus Abrera was the one who received the back attack in the second period, and of course it was followed by a little nutcracker. That kid's going to be in the ice bath for about a month.
He's starting to feel that why is everybody always picking on me syndrome. Brian Gallagher grabs the helmet for the G-Force of the Texas Rustlers and goes out there against Brian Krebs of the California Quakes. 17-12, the Rustlers lead this game with about 4.5 minutes left to go. We're in the final period here at Universal Studios in Orlando. Gallagher puts a hip check into Krebs and sends him down.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of maturity here on behalf of the Rustlers, Rory. If you remember in the first period, Brian Gallagher didn't come out till I think the second or third jam. He's done it again here. Instead of being real aggressive trying to get out, they send out poor Marcus Abrera to test the waters, and then they come back and you're seeing the fruits of that research as the G-Force cleans house.
I don't know if it's research or not, but the G-Force did clean house, and here comes Atkinson to stick up for his teammate. Look at him. He's got a chokehold on him. Wow, Atkinson, it was almost like he got shot out of a cannon the way he came from nowhere. There's David Glenny. 1 Rustler point was the result of all of that. It's 18-14 Rustlers. There's Atkinson in the middle of the pack right there. And there's the action in the back of the pack, which Atkinson sees out of the corner of his eye. Glenny spins, and then Atkinson comes over out of nowhere, and bam!
Similar to the move he put on Marcus Abrera at the end of the last jam. He goes right after David Glenny, one of the G-Force. Sean Atkinson, he'll hit anybody during or after the jam.
18-14, the Rustlers are out on top in this game. Aaron Slopey gets out there for the California Quakes. He's quick, and he's against Jason Beckstein of the Rustlers. Slopey and Beckstein. Oh, and Slopey goes down hard. That was a good, clean block by Jason Beckstein to free himself up on the jam. The Rustlers leading it here, 18-14, looking to the men to hold on to this lead and win the game. Rusty Montgomery goes back to block and gets him in a headlock and sets up Atkinson. The jam is still on. Still time for Slopey to score points. Atkinson is celebrating while Slopey goes by and gets the points. Now they catch up to Atkinson, and he falls down on his back, but Slopey was busy scoring. 2 California points.
Well, they cut that lead in half, but more importantly, you see the result of the skyscraper. Sean Atkinson laying in wait. I believe that Rusty Montgomery was setting up an unsuspecting Jason Beckstein, who is a late addition to the lineup for the Rustlers. I tell you what a way to come into the lineup.
18-16, the Rustlers lead. We're back with the finale in a minute.
Are you fast enough to be a jammer, tough enough to be a blocker? This one. Think you've got what it takes to be the next Mark D'Amato or Stacy Blitch? If you do, Roller Jam wants you to try out. Call the Roller Jam Training Center at 407-324-9294 today.
Rory Marcus and Lee Hawk Rearman back in Orlando. 2 minutes to go in the game, and the Rustlers trailing it, or leading it now by 2 over the Quakes, 18-16. The Quakes get Tony Santiago out. He's quick on those skates, and he leads this jam as Abrera's out there chasing him none the worse for wear after being worn out by Atkinson earlier.
Well, I was just going to say, Marcus Abrera, he knows this is crunch time, and whoever wins it on this jam is probably going to win the game, Rory.
And there goes Abrera into the front row of seats. That leaves Tony Santiago out there for the Quakes to try and pick up the points. They're down by 2. Atkinson comes back to assist. Atkinson trying to break the double defense and does so. Santiago leaps over and picks up a couple of points. He gets up to try and get some more. He's already tied the game up. Atkinson waits for Abrera. Santiago reaches the back of the pack. I don't know if he can get any more or not. Only 6 seconds left in the jam, and that's it. They gave him 3, and that gives the Quakes the lead.
They got the lead, Rory, but we've only got 1 jam left. Sean Atkinson, you saw some maturity there. The G-Force, he preoccupied them as they started beating on him. Everybody wants to beat up Sean Atkinson, especially the G-Force. And you saw Santiago sneak over for the points. But Sean Atkinson, we talk about how he talks too much, how he complains, and how he gets under people's skin. Well, right here, it's effective. You got Gamble and Gleddy. Hey, Sean Atkinson, we're going to show you what we're made of. And Santiago scores in, gives the Quakes the lead, and we're down to the last jam. Here we go.
Half a minute to go in the game. 19-18. The Quakes have taken a 1-point lead. And the Rustlers trying to pull it out. California Quakes trying to hang on. And who's going to emerge from that pack to jam? For the Rustlers, it's Brian Gallagher. The G-Force trying to win it. Brian Gallagher puts the elbow into the face of Tom Smith. Also out there is Eric Slopey for the Quakes. So they're 2-on-2 right now. The Rustlers get the best of it.
It's G-Force, G-Force, G-Force.
Gallagher and Gamble, 2/3 of the G-Force. Gleddy's the other one. And now, the last jam of the game. They talk it over in the back of the pack as Atkinson waits. They have to get by Atkinson for the tie. They have to get by another Quake for the win. Gamble and Gallagher with 15 seconds left on the jam. And now Gleddy turns around and takes Atkinson out of the game. They both got him. That's 2 points. And Gleddy puts the exclamation point on what's going to be a Rustler victory in this game.
Well, you called him 2/3 of the G-Force. Well, the other third, Gleddy, did put that exclamation point on. The G-Force, Gamble, Gallagher, and Gleddy. It's a G-Force party at the Pandemonium in Texas. Woo.
The G-Force comes through. The Rustlers come through. The Quakes hang their heads. Atkinson's upset as he is about 23.5 hours out of every day. And it's a 23-19 for the celebrating Rustler victory. Sean Atkinson had his moments in this game, and this is one of them. You see him flying over the rail to take out a Texas Rustler jammer, Jason Beckstein, but the moments were really few and far between for Sean and the Quakes as they lose. Let's see if Sean's reaction. Broadway Danny Wolf is with him.
All right, thanks, Rory. Sean, the lesson learned today, one man cannot do it for his entire team. Valiant effort by you, but it didn't seem like you had a lot of support by the rest of the skaters.
Yeah, it's like the enforcers. They have Mark Diamato, Tim Washington. I got like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Nobody's there on my team to help me, man. I don't know what's up with Rusty Montgomery or Chad Vaughn. Hey, guys, I need some help.
Now let me ask you, I've been trying to get an answer from you about the allegations that you know that somebody fixed the election.
Yes, yes, I know somebody fixed the election, but I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, Sean, who? Tell us who, Sean.
Well, Sean Atkinson, for once, is not talking. That's an unaccustomed activity for him, Rory, being silent.
He just doesn't want to talk about the controversy, and maybe you can't blame him. There's Stacy Blitz. She liked to think that she definitely is the roller derby queen. Kenneth Logue, I don't know what he is, but that was him. There's Lindsey Francis, and the game is over. The Rustlers have won it 23-19. So will we see Stacy Blitz as the roller derby queen, or will it be Lindsey, or who knows, huh, Hunk?
I don't know. Will Kenneth Logue still be the pariah he is here in the World Skating League?
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time on Roller Jam.